Hi, hope you're having an amazing day. As you saw from the title of this video, today we're going to be talking about all of my Amuse palettes. I have a few, it's not like a whole lot. I'm surprised because you guys know I've been doing a lot of Amuse massive drugstore hauls and stuff like that. I do have quite a bit of eyeshadow palettes in my upcoming massive drugstore hauls, but I haven't gotten a chance to play with those. So we're only talking about the palettes that I've actually featured in videos, and I'm going to try to swatch all of them. I did already start. We'll see how it goes throughout the video. I don't know. But I'm going to try to swatch them out as well as give you guys a mini review on the product. So we do have quite a bit of Amuse Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes. We have a Starry Cosmetics palette as well as a Santee eyeshadow palette. So this is going to be a lot of fun. If you want to see what eyeshadow palettes I have from Amuse, just keep on watching. Don't forget, if you like drugstore makeup, go ahead and stick around, subscribe, maybe hit the bell so you're notified whenever I upload. And if you could like the video if you like it, and the video is going to start right now. Let's just start off with the palette that I never reach for. It's Starry Boutique eyeshadow palette. This one actually came in a kit from Amuse. This was a while back. It was like the beginning of 2020, I believe. Feels like such a long time ago, but it's a really nice palette. It comes with a lot of beautiful shimmer shades, and it's really nice. It's really cute. It's really compact. So this is definitely one that I kept because a lot of the other palettes that came in that kit I actually either gave away to my sister or it just decluttered completely. I just didn't like them, and this is the color story that we get in this palette. It's a really nice one. However, I never reach for it. It does come with a mirror, which is really convenient, and the shades are really buttery and soft, and the color selection isn't that unappealing. It's a really nice color story. I definitely am more gravitating towards that purple section. But I really like all of these shades in here, really soft, really pigmented, and I actually did swatch them on my hand. So I'm really intrigued by this palette, but it's not one that I reach for often just because all of them are shimmers. But I'm excited for this to get chosen for my Amuse stash soon. It's something that I want to play with, but it's just like I never really have a reason to. I just never reach for it. It gets lost in my collection because it's so small that I kind of just forget about it. So yeah, starting off with this one, it's okay. It's just like not really exciting, and I never ever reach for it. I think I've used it like once. So next palette is from Amuse Cosmetics. This palette was actually chosen for my Amuse stash, and it's a really beautiful palette. The mirror did fall off, but it does come with a mirror, and it comes with a lot of beautiful tones. This is definitely something that's up my alley. It's so beautiful, so colorful, yet you can make some really wearable looks out of this palette. Kind of gives me vibes of the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette, like that last row of shades that contains like those kind of purpley tones and stuff. It kind of gives me vibes of that palette, like a little mini palette of that. It's a really nice, gorgeous color story, and the formulation is beautiful as well. Here are the swatches of the palette, and it's just a really nice, really buttery type of formula, and they are gorgeous on the lid. I actually have this palette on the eyes today, and I'll have my Amuse stash video in the description box below. I got a lot of other great items in that video if you didn't catch that, but I did use this palette on the eyes. I went ahead and used those green shades on the crease area and that purple shimmer on the lid, and it's a really gorgeous palette, really amazing formula. So this is definitely something that I would recommend you purchase if you're looking for a palette on Amuse. This is definitely a hidden gem on the site. It's a really beautiful color story, gorgeous formula, and I'm confident that you're gonna love it too. I have two of the A2O palettes. There's the Wildflower palette and the Date Night palette. So these two actually came with a bunch of single shadows, and it does come with a mirror. Those are the shades in this palette, and then the other shades in the Wildflower palette. These actually were like mix match. So I did create my own palettes using the single shadows that came in each one. So this one I decided to make it more of a smoky kind of palette with all of those deeper kind of tones, and it's really beautiful. And then this one I decided to make it more of an everyday kind of palette. So I'm really excited to use these. I haven't gotten a chance to use them. I think I've only used them like once before, and I remember not being as impressed as I thought I would be because they look really great quality. But I thought they were okay, not something extraordinary, not something that I really recommend you go out and purchase because it's $10 for 9 shadows when you can definitely get the same amount of shades in a different palette from Amuse that's $1, and this is $10. So it's not something that I really recommend unless you want to try out their single shadows. but they're really nice, really beautiful color stories, but not something I really reach for in my collection. However, the packaging is super sturdy and nice, so I'm really liking that about these. And these are always on sale as well. If you're looking for a magnetic palette, they're always in the sale section of Shop Miss A. So if you like the packaging, they are sold separately, and they have a bunch of the single shadows as well on sale for like $1 or something. So these are really nice, but the quality is not all there. Let's just get this one out of the way. This is a Centipro finished palette. We did a whole video on it recently. I'll have it on the screen and down below, and that's definitely something that if you want to see how this performed, you can watch that. It was just not that great. It comes with a mirror, which I really like, but the color story is also really beautiful. I really loved it. That's the thing that drew me to wanting this palette, but I don't recommend it. It smells really bad. The pigmentation is horrible. So this is something that I'd say skip out on. Now, I can say that I haven't tried out the red and orange kind of shade, so I don't know if those perform any better, but I did dip into that blue shade and some of the everyday kind of tones like these two, and they were not impressive at all. So this is definitely something that I don't recommend. A lot of people say that they don't like it either, so skip out on it if you see it. At the moment that I posted that video, it was no longer on the site, but I know Shop Miss A, they always bring back stuff and they take away stuff, so I know at some point this is going to be back on the site, and it's definitely one that I would suggest you kind of stay away from because it's not that great. This palette here is really gorgeous. I believe this one is still available with a total of 12 eyeshadows, and they're very much those everyday kind of tones, and this is a palette that I'm glad that I have, and it's really nice, whatever, but I don't think I've ever used it for a video. I believe I used it for an Instagram video or something, but this is definitely not something that I gravitate towards. It's just so like everyday, and it's just kind of boring. I don't know, like, but I know this is perfect for those people that like those everyday looks, something to throw on and go for work or go run errands or whatever. But for me, this is just a little boring. I never reach for it. But the formulation of Amuse Cosmetics is really great, but this is just not something that I gravitate toward personally, and I forget about it quite a lot and I never touch it. Now, something that I definitely do gravitate towards are these Amuse palettes. They come in two styles. This one here I believe is a number 1. Yeah, it comes with those everyday kind of tones, but these have a little more punch to them, a little more deeper shades in here, and you do get a highlight as well as a blush. And this one I think is very versatile. It's really gorgeous. You can definitely make it smoky, or you can make it more of an everyday wearable type of palette. So this one's definitely something that I gravitate more to. It smells good, and it's just a really nice palette. The shades blend out nicely and stuff, and these are really gorgeous just to look at. I love the fact that you can see the shades through the packaging, and you also get this one in number 2, which is more of a smoky kind of palette, and I love this one. It's so beautiful. Reminds me of my H&M To the Moon and Back palette, and it's a really nice palette. Also smells really good, but it's not super offensive or anything. It's a light kind of smell. Comes with a highlight and blush, an all-in-one palette, which you guys know I love, and it's a nice palette. I really enjoy these, and these are still available on their website. They're really great formula, and they're really pigmented and beautiful on the skin. I really enjoy these, so these are some that I definitely recommend. There's no specific order. I'm just grabbing whatever is around me. The next palette is the Amuse palette. This one comes with a highlight in the middle and a bunch of eyeshadows. This is really beautiful. I like the concept and stuff. It's a really gorgeous selection of shades and stuff, but this one is just a little boring for me as well. It's nice. You see it's like everyday tones and then more of colorful tones, and I love the fact that it comes with a highlight, but it's not a palette that I reach for often. I kind of forget about it as well. It's not really up my alley or anything. I'm glad that I have it, but it's not something that I reach for at all. So we're gonna end this video so strong because the last palettes that I have are one of my favorites. Actually, both of them are really amazing. The first one here is the Amuse Cosmetics eyeshadow palette. This one comes with a total of 10 shades in here, and all of these are so beautiful. Like, they're so gorgeous. There are more smoky tones in here, and they're just so beautiful. This is definitely one of my favorite Amuse palettes. They're so good. Gorgeous formula, great pigmentation, perfect like building kind of shades. They build up on each other really nicely. You can definitely smoke it out. You can do everyday kind of looks with this palette as well. It's just so nice. The black in here is really nice. You can definitely build it up to the capacity of a smoky kind of shade, but it's not going to be super dark where it's going to mess up the whole look. where it's extremely pigmented. I'd say it's like a wearable kind of black shade, which I really enjoy. And just the whole palette is amazing. I've done a couple TikTok videos with this palette. It's just so nice, and I definitely recommend this. I believe this one's still available as well, so this is definitely a recommend, and it's just so good. And the last palettes, I've heard so many people raving about these for good reason, because they're so good. These are the Muse 6 color palettes. This one here, it comes with more pinky tones. I actually did a whole video using a lot of these palettes. I think I've used every single one actually. The blue one is probably my most favorite one to reach for when I want to do a blue look. It's just a palette that I gravitate towards, and it's just like all in one. I don't need any other palette when I want to do a colorful look. And then we have this one, which is more of a muted kind of mauve palette, and this is perfect for those smoky type of looks. These are so nice, and I have to say the pigmentation is everything. The shadow formula is great, so definitely recommend. I'm thinking about picking up something from Amuse Cosmetics. I definitely recommend picking out one of these. These are so gorgeous, the color stories and everything. I picked up all three, and I do not regret it at all. They're so amazing. So many people rave about them, and again, for good reason, because they are so good. I'd say these are like the best ones out of everything. If I had to choose one type of formula that I enjoy from Amuse, they're so nice, and I definitely recommend. This is like the biggest recommend from the site that I have. These are definitely my most favorite formula, and pigmentation wise and all of that, it's a really nice palettes series and stuff, so I definitely recommend these. And with that, we made it to the end. I hope you enjoyed watching as much as I enjoyed filming this for you today. Everything that I talked about, all the names of the prices, are going to be down below, as well as any videos that I mentioned throughout this video or videos that I uploaded last week. Don't forget, I upload 3 times a week on Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday, so if you could stick around, that would be amazing. I have my Insta handle displayed on the screen. I post a lot of makeup finds from drugstore to high end, so if that interests you, go ahead and follow me there. And it'd be so amazing if you could like and subscribe. Of course, you don't have to. You're your own person and you make your own decisions, but it wouldn't hurt to give this video a like, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.